Last week, this was just an idea. Now it's reality. Broke my lease, finding a storage unit, booked my Airbnb in Medellin, Colombia, and booked my flights. So it's real, it's happening. There's no turning back now. I'm doing it, taking a little hiatus from this Miami life. Now, for those of you who've watched the past few videos I put out, hasn't been easy necessarily for me to own this and talk about it and put it out there. But what has made it infinitely easier is the outpour of support I'm getting from friends, clients, ex-clients, family, and strangers reaching out to me being like, dude, I have never seen someone actually go and document not just the highs, but also the lows while you're actually going through them. So I'm leaning in on that, and both Jamie and I have made a conscious decision to be radically transparent. And that's what I actually think I want to call this series, of whatever you want to call this, these deep rants, if you will. Yeah, man, what is there to hide? Why should I try to hide behind this perfectly curated image that everything is going well all the time when it's not? And I've had some incredible and amazingly intimate conversations with people who've shared their journeys and their struggles as well, running a business, running their own finances, running their relationships, their lives, everything. It's not easy to do. And why should we hide that stuff? Why shouldn't we document that stuff as well? And so in the spirit of radical transparency, this move is, as much as I feel like it is a little bit of a step back, and maybe my ego is so tied to some version of success that I have in my brain, I think it's so much more powerful to actually share what's actually happening in life, as opposed to just trying to make everything seem like sunshine and rainbows. And something that I'm actually really passionate about, and I felt like creatively invigorated after many years of trying to figure out what type of content I should make myself, is having these conversations with people has shown me that there is a culture out there of trying to pretend that everything is perfect all the time. Your Instagram is like a trophy case. People are sharing all the nice dinners, the yachts, the fun, the travel, all this glamorous, decadent lifestyle, right? But I believe there needs to be a counterweight to that, and a counterculture to that idea that everything is perfect all the time. And there needs to be more people who are showing the bad with the good. And so we're doing it. We're going to Colombia. I'm going to share all of that. I'm going to document the entire journey. But one thing I did want to talk about from my last video is, now, what are we doing on the other end, right? I'm not just focused. This is not the only thing that I'm doing to get us out of this situation, all right? We're doing a lot more than that. And something specifically I've done this week is I have built out a little bit of a system on how we are going to start generating more leads. Now, ultimately, one of the most important parts for keeping a business alive is sales, and you need revenue, and you need to keep bringing in money and keep signing more clients. And then we could talk about all the other things in a different video that we need to do to keep those clients and fulfill, and the operations and everything else. But right now, what I want to talk about is actually going out and doing outbound DMs as a strategy. Now, one of the first things that I had to do is go back and look at who we really want to work with. Really getting clear on one niche. This is something that Jamie and I have struggled with for years, picking one type of client that we want to work with, and who we have decided we are going to focus this next season in our campaigns on is the medical space and health and wellness in general, right? Up until now, we've worked with real estate, tech, finance, legal, luxury yachts, private jets, and everything in between. But some of our best case studies, the clients we enjoy working with the most and that we get great results for and keep for a long term when we go back and look at the data, has been in the health and wellness space, specifically clinics, coaches, doctors, med spas, like that whole world where we are able to we're targeting a business that's actually making money and actually sees the value in creating content to make themselves an authority. So that was step one, is like, hey, we got to figure out who we're talking to. Step two is basically I'm working on hiring a appointment setter that's going to help us go outbound and set appointments with different leads in the medical space. Now, it's still early. I don't have any results yet for this campaign, but this week has been all about setting all of that up, getting the right pieces in place. And already, from cutting back on a lot of spending, I do have a little bit of budget to hire somebody to do that. Specifically, I was able to cut back on some memberships, which equated to about $800 a month. I was able to cut back on some subscriptions. I actually decided to cook a lot of meals at home. I decided to skip getting my $12 latte that I sometimes get out. I've been biking everywhere. I've been just saving and cutting back wherever I can. And I've already got like an extra $1,200 just from last week to now that I can now reinvest in my business. I'm really excited about that because I'm now able to bring in someone who can go and start direct messaging people that are in our ideal client territory. Now, before, we just always relied on referrals, word of mouth, and cold email as ways of getting clients. But I'll be honest with you, the cold email hasn't been working. The pipeline's been dry. So that's one of the big things we're doing. In tandem, we are rebuilding our entire marketing funnel and sales system. So we're going to be doing a better job of qualifying clients and educating them with content about who we are and what we do before they get on a sales call with me. I think that this is going to dramatically improve my no-show rate and my closing rate, because once this project's complete, people already know what we do, who we do it for, and some of our results before they have their first interaction with me. So it's not as much of a cold first discovery call. It's more of actually kind of a warm call where people know me before I've even met them. So there's a lot of moving pieces to this funnel that need to be ironed out. I think within the next 2 weeks, we'll be able to really turn the taps on and start to see how this works. But this is a very technical process, and in the spirit of radical transparency, I want to pop the hood a little bit and show you what I'm working on with my guy Nikolai building all this stuff out. So we're actually going to get into Go High Level, the platform that I'm using for all this, and show you all of the flows, all of the automations, everything that's being built out that's going to make growing this business a lot more seamless moving forward. Now, in the spirit of radical transparency, I want you guys to join along with me on this. Now, one of the things that's helped me a bunch is using ChatGPT every day. ChatGPT's basically become like a partner in my business, in my life, in my relationships, in everything. I use ChatGPT as a therapist, as a trainer, as a business coach, and all the above, all of it, all right? One specific hack that I want you to steal is using ChatGPT to track your discipline dollars. Now, I can't take credit for this. Jamie started doing this, and he started tracking all the money he was saving by consciously making decisions throughout the day that, the whole purpose of them is to cut back on unnecessary, needless spending. For example, instead of taking a $10 to $15 Uber to go wherever you're trying to get to, if it's feasible for you, bike or walk. You just saved $15 each way. That's $30 saved. If you take that Uber, 5-6 times a month, you're saving hundreds of dollars right there by doing something that's actually more healthy for you, that's helping you get outside and get some nature, get some sun. You say you don't have enough time to listen to that book or podcast. Do it during that little commute. I genuinely love tracking these disciplined dollars, and I've been doing it for everything. And that's how I know that I've already saved a few $1,000s just in these little daily disciplines. Imagine what that compounds into over 3 months, 6 months, a year, 5 years. That right there can be a retirement fund just from drinking your coffee at home, or choosing to, eat a couple meals at home, or taking an Uber. Like, little things, they stack up. The perfect example is if I save $6 by opting to make my coffee at home instead of going out and buying it anywhere else, I can now afford a $6 an hour virtual assistant that can buy back my time so that I can go make more money, which I actually just did by hiring a Venezuelan virtual assistant / appointment setter who's going to be helping me with the lead gen. Perfect example of disciplined dollars at work. So as you can see, there are two sides to the coin here. I mean, there's the expenses side, which I won't lie, is not the most fun and has not been the most fun for me to focus on. And then there's the revenue side, which I have so much fun with. I love it. I love selling. I feel the most natural making more money. But the thing is, when you're a business owner, you have to focus on both. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money you make. What matters is how much money you keep. So in the next video, expect me to pop the hood open and actually show you some of the intricate details of what we're working on. My name's Deepak. I'm building in public, and I'm going to remain radically transparent from here on out. Subscribe to not miss.